Alright. Hello everyone, this is Water Fiction here. I'm continuing off in the story. I would do this, I was hoping this part 3 would be like the end, of this live stream. I know there's a lot of stuff to read. Every time I think part 2 would be like part 1. All done. Nope. Part 2. Nope. Part 3. Probably not. So I'm going to continue on right away. This is from the story One-Armed Headless Horse Techie that I wrote. So I'm going to continue off on there. He taps his pen on the desk. Tap, 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 tap. As he looks out the window one last time, as he sees her looking up at him. Whoa! He falls backwards. Then he's like, whoa! Falls backwards. Right. What is that thing? Why does it follow me? He looks out the window to see that she's gone. There's a knock at the door. He pauses and waits. Room service, the voice on the other side says. He opens it up to see a bellhop standing there, with a plate covered by a silver dish. I didn't order any. Compliments of the owner. By the way, did anyone tell you look like... I'm getting that a lot. He takes the dish and brings it inside. He then gives the man a tip. Much obliged, sir. And with that, the bellhop was gone. I kind of wonder where the term bellhop comes from, I'm going to look it up real quick. Because I'm really curious, I should just show that stuff. And you want me to see it because I really don't want to have, I just want to do this real quick and I can wait for the thing. Bellhop. Let's see. I guess it doesn't say. Oh, wait. Well, here he goes. Says the name bellhop derived from a hotel's front desk clerk ringing a bell to summon a porter who would hop or jump to attention at the desk to receive instructions. It stood for bellhopper and the words first known use was in 1897. This is from Wikipedia. That's kind of cool. I also see that bellhop traditionally is a boy or adolescent male, hence the term bellboy. So bellboy, bellhop, it's mostly going to be a male person at the role. But I'm guessing nowadays we have females on the road, so that's pretty cool, But yeah, they hear the bell and they had to hop to it, basically. That's kind of cool. Alright, there we go. Wait, sorry. As he sets down the dish, sets the dish down, he opens it up. There he sees a series of torn up images of a strange photo. Weird, he says. He dumps it in the trash. He goes in the fridge. He doesn't see anything other than one generic soda and a beer. But looks at the other side. He sees the pamphlet. Strange, he says. He takes it out. Come join the fun at Grimsville's local train station. We soon have our tours. He nearly swerved into traffic, but luckily he was given a citation and was sent on his way. When he gets there, it's fun and fantastic. Say for. Every time I type the word for on my phone, because I work most of it on my phone, it changes the R to an E. No question asked about it. This does it, and I don't like that. I also don't like how something like my computer, my phone would be like, "Hey, those pictures you sent, these pictures you took? Well, we made it into a collage, and you made a movie out of it, and we get a plot and a script and everything out of the pictures you took. Also, we did all this other things." Too, and it's like, why? I didn't ask it to do that. I know that people can, they can type in hey, Google AI thingy, write the story for me, and I'm like, okay, here's the story for you. I don't ask it to do that though. This is entirely for me, But when they put the pictures together, it's like, why? And the autocorrect is really finicky at times, it's really dumb. Sorry, but anyway, let's see, back to the thing. Save for a strange bouquet of flowers on the edge of the railroad tracks. The other people look at him with confusion and give themselves comments about, does he look like that one guy? Does he look familiar? Is that? As he gets to the pay, the lady behind the desk goes, hello, sir. Can I help you? I know. I look like someone you know. I didn't know I'd be famous in a new town, you know? Just one, please. Will it be the train ride or the whole thing? The train ride. That'll be $16.65. He gives her the money. Well, that's highway robbery. I'm sure it is. It's highway robbery. I don't know. Thanks, sir. As he gets in, he sees that his ticket places him in the middle of the back seat. He listens to the operator talk about the facts and the regulations and what to do in an emergency. He looks out the window and straight ahead as he sees the train moving. As he watches as the buildings and stuff pass by, then he sees it. There's a little girl on the tracks. Stop the train, he yells. Stop the train, stop the train. He pulls on the emergency brake. I don't know. It comes to a screeching halt. He hears people say, "What's wrong with that guy? What's that the train for? What the hell?" The conductor barges in. "All right, who pulled the brakes?" I don't know. They all point to him. The conductor walks to him. "Sir, why did you pull the brakes? Is this some kind of a prank?" "You didn't see?" He looks out the window straight ahead and sees nothing. "Sorry, I saw someone on there." "Well, there's no one on there now." As he finishes up the train ride, this time with all eyes on him, he can't help but think that the girl looks familiar. After getting lunch, he decides to head back to his hotel room. As he drives there, he happens upon a condemned house. It looks strangely familiar. Actually, everything does. When he gets back to his hotel room, he sits on the bed and watches TV. A few hours later, and he orders some room service. The bellhop was there once again. "There you are, sir." He gives him another silver plate and dish. This time, Brenner opens it. "The last dish you gave me had nothing but torn papers in it." "I'm sorry, sir, but I could have sworn it was food." "Nah, it's okay." Brenner looks at the chicken dinner laid out before him. "It looks good." "It was handmade." "It was handmade by the boss himself, sir." "Oh, but if you per se feel too tired, just have the sponge cake." He points down to the sponge cake. "I sure will." He gives him another, though a smaller tip now. "Thanks again, sir." As the bellhop leaves, he sees Maria looking frantically, nervously. Taking the mind, he eats the chicken. He gets full halfway through, then he starts to feel it. He gets dizzy. As he starts spitting. Was he drugged? Oh shit! He goes for the cake. As he eats it quick, he soon starts to feel everything turn back to normal. Just what was going on? Something hit him from behind. He blacks out. Something hits him from behind. When he comes to, he finds himself at the railway station at night. A look at the clock says it's 1 o'clock. I gotta change this off. In the morning, he goes up. He gets up as he sees her, that strange, nightmarish girl. SNGE or Singe. I don't know. She gives chase. He runs. Not wanting to trample the flowers, he jumps over them, but slips and falls on the railroad tracks. It's onto the railroad tracks. I don't know. She charges towards him with a hand outstretched. He quickly looks up and thinks he hears the sound of the train running. What the hell? He feels her hand as her fingers grab his shirt and tear into his flesh. He manages to pull away. As he runs away, he manages to get away from her. As the voice... he manages to get away from her as he hears the voice say, "Why?" He checks himself into a hospital where he finds out that he just needs a few stitches. Back at the hotel, he sees Maria more nervous than ever. First he saves her and talks to her. "Hey, you said you recognize me?" "Oh yes, you look the same. You get the same looks as him. It's uncanny how much you two look alike." "Hey, what's up with the flowers on the railroad tracks?" "Oh, it's a tragedy. A little girl fell on the tracks and died there. Do you know how long ago it was?" "I want to say like 10 to 15 years ago." "I'm sorry to hear that. Do you know how old she was?" 15, 16. As he thanks Saber for her time, Brenda goes back upstairs to his room. As he gets to the door, he sees Maria as he confronts her. Hey, he asks in a set-up tone. What's going on here? Talk. I'm sorry, sir, she responds in a shaking tone, but my boss wanted me to knock you out and leave you on the train station. What? Why? I don't know, but she takes the phone and shows a picture of a little 5-year-old girl. He has my daughter. She then breaks down crying. He has my daughter. She then breaks down crying. There you go. He consoles her. Hey, it's okay. Do you know where they are now? No. He hasn't been in for a couple months now. When he hears her story, he finds out the same time he had those nightmares was the same time this man, who looked strangely like him, okay, had stopped showing up to work, but it was still making things run smoothly. For his hotel, L. When he gets to his room, he happens on the waste paper basket. Oddly, it wasn't cleaned out. That's when he saw it. Displaying on the torn pieces of paper. He tapes them back together, finding matching pieces and lining up the letters. There's soon a whole message there. Find your answers. He turns it over. It's of that same dilapidated house. That night, he snuck out as he drove there. The streets were dead, save for a few cars, but he hadn't known the answer. When he gets there, someone tells him to hide the car in some bushes out back. The door isn't locked as he goes in. When he gets inside, despite it being burned and nearly demolished, he recognizes this place. It's my old childhood home. I remember these stairs. He gets to the basement door. He finds it locked. No, that wasn't it. Something was blocking his way. He took an axe and he chopped the door down. There he sees a cement wall, breaking it down with a sledgehammer. He goes downstairs, where he sees birth certificates and adoption papers. Every house has an axe and a sledgehammer, just so you know. On them is the name Veli Inuit Canliam, but that was the most shocking part. Oh no, for the basement, he sees a sinkhole. In the sinkhole was a fridge. It was an old basement fridge, but now something seems off about it. Not wanting to go down there, he instead uses the axe to pry open the freezer, and there he gets the shock of his life. A little girl's head of about 15 was there, staring back at him. Oh shit, he rushes back up. When he gets to his hotel room, he makes an anonymous call to the police. But that was the most shocking part. It's not? I know, no, it's not. Oh no. For that was what happened on his drive over there. He remembers her, the name of the girl, who was named June Takagami. She was his childhood friend. Then something happened. Oh, that's right, she died. And then they moved. He was so shocked by that he must have repressed his memories. Now that he was here, he could finally put her to rest. But soon he hears a knock at the door. I didn't order room service, but as he opens it, he sees her standing there. She grabs him and puts him behind her. He tries to get off, but he can't. The hairs of the horse wrap around his body as they hold him down. It then jumps. Crash! Out the window. Yeah! He screams. Very lightly, I might add. As he watches, they both plummet to the ground with a splack. He instead finds the horse landing swiftly. As he's ridden to the train station again, this time it's 1 o'clock, as per that night. He gets thrown on the tracks and hears the train turn on. Why? He hears her scream, and like a whisper, I guess. But I found your head. I remember who you are. What more do you want? He yells, thinking he's not going to make it. Why did you kill me? I know what you're talking about. He hears the chug. Chugga. Oh, the train engine. Choo choo. I don't know. As he sees it start to move, the creature raises her hand as she screams, die! He covers his face in fear. What was happening? Why does he think he killed her for? Was this the end? Then she stops, and the train stops. Right behind her. He takes a little peek as she grabs his hand. She's looking for something, but what? It's not you, she says. What do you mean? You just had to keep being lucky, didn't you? He turns his head to the familiar sounding voice, to a man who looked just like him, save for green hair, a goatee, and a burn scar on his hand. You look, Brenda starts, just like you? The strange man says to him. We're twins, jackass. Only you wouldn't know it. Poor our mom and daddy could only take care of one, so they gave one of us up. Guess who? I was raised by the Can Leon family. Only, father wasn't quite right. He shows his hand. You're Billy Inuit Can Leon. Very good. What's this got to do with June? I'm getting to that. You see, my stepmother let slip before I slipped that knife under her throat, after I did to Papa, of course, that I was adopted. And after saying goodbye one last time to my foster family, I tracked you down, and lo and behold, what do I see? You living your best fucking life, and with that girl. She was to be mine. I made sure of it. But when I made advances to her, she said, Tee, you know we're just friends. Friend zoned? Friend zoned? So they did the most logical thing. Oh boy, this guy sounds evil. You see, her family owned a local horse farm. And she had a prize horse. Like I changed that. So I took it and told her to meet me by the train's tracks that night at 1 a.m. Only the sea shimmer didn't make it there in one piece. You son of a bitch. Brenda goes to take this man who supposedly got on him. Now where was I? Oh yes. She saw what I had done to her beautiful but pathetic horse as she asked, Why, Bunny, why? Ooh, that got me pissed off. Not because she thought I was you. I mean, I get it. We're twins. But because when she thought I was you, she looked at me with those eyes of longing, like she wanted to be with you. Like she was heartbroken. Oh, that pissed me off. Now, did you know the train used to ride outside of town at all hours of the night? Now, I'm sure you can guess this next part. You killed her. Bingo! You got it! You went on the railroad. Well, you already know that. Now, I didn't intend for her to become a vengeful spirit. Oh, no. But after she was hit, the driver didn't see until the morning. I took her head, and I think you were asleep on that day. As I put her head in the freezer, I was to make sure that you would go away for her death. For my crime. But then that sinker came on, and and that cement blocked the basement steps. I managed to get out as I found an open window, but by that time you and your family had moved away. You were shocked and stunned. And then one day, I got these weird visions, these dreams, nightmares of what I did. So I took you down again, and by being you, I managed to find your files as I put my plan into motion. You probably know the rest. This is going on long enough. He pulls his gun out. Whatever. As he aims it at June, should be. And sea shimmer. Now you die. Again. No! The shots fired. As shots fire, Brenner jumps in front of the gun as the bullet hits his skin. Why would you do that? He hears June cry. Fuck if I know, he says with a chuckle, as his vision blows away. Now let's try this again, Ken Lehman says. He aims his gun again. Yeah! She lunged at him. The horse hairs drag him onto the tracks. Oh ho, you think this can scare me, bitch? Well, I got news for ya. I managed to escape capture, and when they see my dead byline in the tracks, I've made sure to leave a note saying that this crazy guy who won my vacation time, who went crazy and killed me. Sorry, it was crazy, but okay, sorry. Oh, they won't. They all looked up to see the bellhop standing there. Julius? The girl's voice could be heard. Junie? Is that really you? He gets closer to her, but just then, June drops down her guard as he pulls out his gun again. Die. Before he can fire, he couldn't account for Brenner hopping his way to the train as he turns it on and rams it into him at full speed, making sure to jump out just in time. June and Julius rushed to his side. Come on. We'll get you to the hospital, Julius says to him. I guess you can find peace now, Brenner says to June, who tells him, Neither heaven nor hell. I cannot find peace. Then do you want to stay with me? And so after he was released from the hospital, and after he said his goodbyes to the hotel staff, and after Julius and June said their goodbyes, he and June rode off back home on Sea Shimmer as they began their new lives as workers at that law firm. Alright? Okay, that was one headless horse techie. Now, if anybody wants to know, one it goes through things like characters like Ash Williams or any character who like loses their arm in like battle. That's kind of get the concept for. The headless horse goes from the headless horseman, because she rides on the horse, and of course Techie is of course Techie, which is this Japanese urban legend monster where the schoolgirl gets run over by this train tracks, and this is the original version. She actually carries a scythe. But I don't know where the scythe comes from. It's like, why is he carrying a scythe for? But combine those elements together, like, because she has no lower leg, lower torso, plus she has no head, really. But there's also elements of Nuck-LaVie, which Nuck-LaVie is this weird horse creature, a man riding on a horse or a future horse with like a staff or a spear or something, and he's supposed to bring like death and pestilence and like infestations to wherever he goes. He's very dangerous, kind of an evil entity, but kind of combine the elements together. Get more like as you can see, sad, heartfelt kind of story behind it. So yeah, hope you guys liked it. If you want to, just tell me what you like, what you don't like about it, and voila. Now for the next story. This theme is now spectral, and the story is called Don't Be Afraid. Officer Johnson sat at his desk. He was looking at his files. There's a series of murders. Okay. Well, that's not it. It was more of a series of suicides, bizarre suicides. No signs of distress, no notes, no reason for them to do so. Excuse me, sir. He's brought up from his table to see a series of floating lights in the dark distance. Can you please help us? The voices sound like pastel children's whispers. Can I help you? Is everything okay at home? He asked of them. Follow us, please. They float down the hall. Please, wait. He follows after them. He follows these lights down a series of halls before they disappear into a maintenance closet. He follows them in, but as he gets inside, the door closes. Hey, come on, let me out. This isn't funny. He was struggling at the door handle. Don't be afraid. Those words make him feel calm at this. You can open the door by jamming the key in that key box. He takes the key that he sees and jams into the... The door opens and Detective Johnson falls over dead. He's electrocuted as we see a utility knife jammed into a jukebox. The light on the station... Lights on the station go out, I should say. Oh, wait, that would have been. Akiko Clarabelle sits at a table. Looking at the prices of funeral services. A picture of Officer Johnson is on the table in front of her. Hey, Uncle. I can't believe you're gone. I know I haven't been to church, but I've been busy. But since you wanted to, I'll go to the funeral services and say a good name for you. She hears a knock on the door. She goes to answer it, and an old lady with an imposing build is there. I hope you're not going to the funeral dressed like that, she scolds. Hello, Mom, she sighs back. Don't you mom me? Yes, I put mom like a yawn in that. It's kind of cool. She walks in with her daughter as she sits down and looks at the photo on the table. Oh, I miss him so much, Mrs. Clarabelle says. Your uncle was a great man. It's hard to believe he's gone. Akiko sits down and covers her hands in her face. Mrs. Frances Clarabelle puts her hand, inviting her to take her hands. Akiko moves her hands down and she lets her mom out. Oh, as she lets her mom put her hands on top of hers. That's how it should be. Not out. Not as she lets her mom outgird hands on top of hers. Sorry. Akiko looks up. I wonder why Uncle John would electrocute himself like that. Frances looks at her daughter. I don't know, my dear. But my brother never seemed like the person to do such a thing. I know, it's weird. There's a knock at her door. Akiko goes to answer it. A man stands at her doorway. Hey, baby girl, he says. Hey, Dad, she hugs him. She lets him sit down as she gets some coffee. Mark Clarabelle sighs as he laughs. I remember when your mom and I were dating in college, and a few of the guys had decided to take the rival school. And John had told the principal of a little plan. We had to clean up the entire school from top to bottom and our own school. Francis chimes in. We were stupid kids back then. Hey, we're stupid young adults. At the funeral, Akiko is in a church, and she's wearing a more sensible Sunday's best outfit. She watches her grandma and grandpa, mom and dad, some of the guys at the precinct talk about how they remembered Officer Johnson, how much he affected them. Then it was Akiko's turn. She goes up to the podium and she faces everyone. She grips the hem of her shirt, then clears her throat. Ahem. Sorry. Ahem. Sorry, I don't know. A few years ago, I was getting bullied and picked on by some of my fellow kids for my name. And it was going to end it all. No, I thought it was Home Alone. But Officer John was there and he stopped me. Tears start welling up in her face. I just realized, for this one, I guess, warning, there's watching. These are horror stories, it's got to be death in them, so. But I'll just say, this is kind of like, one is like, that kind of stuff, so. Self-unaliving, as they say, suicides, because I've done this thing, but just so you know. Sorry. He asked me about what was bugging me, so I told him that I was being picked on because of my name, and that I hated it. Then he looked at me, and she breaks into a faint yet sad laugh. He said, "Oh, you think you got it bad? My name is John Johnson." She shakes her head. He was a good man. He saved my life. After funeral services, she went out into the hall where she met up with Officer Mark Brigade. "Hey," Brigade says, "how are you holding up?" She sighs. "Okay, I guess. I still miss him, though. Well, I don't know if there's a heaven. Well, I know there's a heaven, but if there is any man who deserves to be there, it'd be him. I take it you don't go to church?" "Actually, I'm an atheist. How about you?" "I've never really been one for church. So religious, or I don't believe in any deity who would drown his own creations in a day in slavery, then ask his followers to accept his son's botched sacrifice, and sends those who don't to eternal torment." When he should have sacrificed himself to ask us for forgiveness. Yeah, me too. But most of my family is religious, so I decided to dress up in my Sunday best. Although I don't think Dad or Uncle John would mind it. By the way, don't mind me asking, why are you named Akiko? This is kind of weird. I picked the names out before I get thinking, based upon certain factors of when the meaning of the names, And I thought that would look kind of cool, enough. I thought, oh wait, this would be kind of cool if I did it this way. So yeah, you'll see what I did. Okay, Akiko Shun was my dad's best friend in high school. Then one day she called Dad and said the lights have told her to set the hippos free. So then walked into the hippopotamus den, and while trying to take a baby, was drowned by its mother. The voice on the recording heard her say, "Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid." And then she died. A look of worry crossed on Officer Mark's face. A instead of I, sorry. Before he said, "I'm sorry for your loss." "It's okay." That night, Akiko stayed at her friend's place. Her friend was named Tabitha. As she stays, Tabitha says, "I can't believe he's gone." "Me neither. I mean, it just seems so surreal. I remember we got in trouble stealing your dad's car. Your uncle was the one who caught us." Hey, it was your dad's car." "I'm sure I remembered if it was." They got themselves some pizza and some soda. Akiko fell asleep on the couch, but she wakes up to the sound of a friend talking to someone. "Tabby Cat?" Alright. Who falls limp in her hands. The lights float away. When she showed the police and the officers revealed it was suicide, it felt so surreal. To her, she couldn't explain it. Just what were those things? How did they make her friend do that? She didn't tell them about the things. She didn't even believe them herself. Officer Mark was there to console her. My brother and his wife will let me crash their place. If you just need anything, just give me a call, okay? Thinks about this, she has to tell someone, hey, promise not to laugh or freak out, or put me in the ward. I promised her. What do you want to tell me? That night, I don't know. I mean, I hope that I was, but that night, I don't know. I mean, I hope that I was, but Anna was hallucinating or half dreaming of someone, God forbid, had been messing with us. But I could have sworn there was some lights just floating and manipulating her to do what she did. Officer Mark just froze. What? What is it? It's nothing. That night, Officer Mark was sleeping in his brother's spare bed when he's woken up by some noise. There he sees his brother Frank Brigade chasing after these floating lights. Hey, hey, he yells as he grabs a shotgun. What are you doing in my house? My wife was trying to sleep. Don't be afraid, the voices whisper. The monster in your bed is falling asleep. Frank Brigade stops chasing them and returns to the bedroom. That's good. Time to defeat the beast. Officer Mark knows that something's up. No, 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 no. He rushes to stop his brother, but he gets knocked out by the butt of Frank Brigade's gun. He's woken up with the sound of a gunshot. He rushes to his brother's bedroom, where he sees his half-wit brother looking at the remains of his wife, Melissa. No, honey, no, I didn't mean to. He turns the gun on himself, not in himself. That'd be kind of weird. Like he puts the gun inside of it. He's turning it like, I don't know. No, 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 no. Officer Mark tries to rush his brother, but he's too late. Akiko is half asleep when she gets a call. Yes? Miss Clarabelle? She hears Officer Mark's voice, sounding scared and frantic. You said that you saw lights when you witnessed your friend kill herself, right? Yes? Well, I saw them as well, when they had my brother kill his wife, and then when he came to, he killed himself. What? Oh, no. And there's something else. We thought it was some trick of the lights, though now I'm not so sure. What is it? What are you talking about? We'll have to see. Later that day, she and Officer Mark were... She and Officer Mark watched the video of the security camera of when Officer Johnson had died. What are those things? Akiko asked. I couldn't find anything on people using mind-altering technology or whatever, but I did see this. Oh, just so you know, the reason why I made Akiko be this way for is because I had Jun Takagami, who's like basically technically Japanese already in the previous story, and I know I couldn't understand, but I thought like it'd be kind of neat if she's named after like this other Akiko who was like their best friend, and in honor of her death, they named her. You know, that's what I kind of did. I thought it'd be kind of neat. You know, like how many people are named after someone that really like that. You know, I don't know. It's not good. I don't know. What are those things? Akiko asked. Sorry, I couldn't find anything on people using monitoring technology or whatever, but I did see this. He turns a computer screen onto her for her to see. An article of the Will-o'-the-Wisp. It says here that the Will-o'-the-Wisp is a series of fairies that appear as light over frogs that are meant to guide people or mislead them. And now they're really misleading people. Oh God. Okay, is that... You know that's like wasn't evil when Joe goes in the elevator or the door and the thing comes to crush her down, and then Barry saves her and he's like, "You almost a Joe sandwich." I think that's it. I think it's not really as cheesy. I don't know. Officer Mark stayed at Akiko's that night. You know what? Akiko begins. I've been thinking, when the Akiko I was named after died, I think she was followed by the Will-o'-the-Wisp. He doesn't say anything. He just stares ahead. Hey, are you okay? Yeah, I'm just still processing all this. Like, how do they manage to get people to do what they do? Don't people have means to find them off? That's what I'm trying to figure out, too. She hears a knock at the door. She answers it to find her parents are standing there. Her dad gives her a hug. Hey, baby girl. How are you holding up? Mark Clarabelle asks her. Oh, Dad, Tab becomes the best friend. But there's worse news. What? Worse news? That should be how. Not that one. Oh my god. That sounds really bad. What? Worst news? How dare you give me worst news? You. Sorry. Francis asks her. We think this is all connected to a series of suicides and a couple homicides. The latest murder-homicide happening last night. What? What happened? Mark Clairvaux had to know. So Officer Mark replied, someone led my brother to kill his wife. What? Oh no! Francis says with shock in his voice. What? Oh no! Francis says with shock in her voice. Sigh. Then he took his own life. Please. I wipe your soul. Francis grabs her daughter's hands. Please come to church tonight. Mom, I told you, that's not for me. Akiko pulls her hand away. Then her dad says, no, let's leave our daughter alone. Oh, come on. She hasn't been to church since she was 15, her mother scolds and whines. I wanted her to go to church. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I know. But this is her choice. It's not ours. Yeah, but sweetheart, you don't have to attend the sermons or anything, but would you and Officer Wade want to help me get the pews oh my god. Get the pews ready for the sermon tomorrow? Her dad gave her that face that no one can ignore. Fine, I'll help. I should help too, Officer Mark replies. I should be capital M, but okay, whatever, yeah. Yes. That night, as they get to the church, they start cleaning it up. And then they see those lights floating in the sky. What is that? Asks their mother. Willow wisp, Akiko says as she runs off towards them. I'll be right back. She rushes towards the lights. Hey, wait, come back! Officer Mark says as he chases her. What's going on? What's going on? Francis asks him. These lights are responsible for the murder of all those they affected. Your husband's friend, your brother, your daughter's bestie, my brother, and his wife. What? They rush after her. They follow her to a door, and she manages to get open, and go inside. But when they get there, the door gets locked. Where does this go? Asks the brigade. To the top of the church, to the top of the church, Father replied. Come on. They rush outside. Akiko walks up the series of steps. As she bumps into an urn and it breaks, grabs out some of the dust. Sorry, she whispers to nobody. I'm gonna need you to let me have this. Then she takes out a piece of broken clay. Not broke clay, but broken clay, Although it sounds weird, it's like they took a piece of broke clay, like there's some guy named Clay who's broke. It just takes a piece of him, like, hey, I got your arm, I got your leg, I got your nose, She follows the wisps. Hey, you, stop! She gets out onto the top. She looks down and sees that she's at least a good 3 feet from the ground. Oh, whoa! She sees the lights just floating there as she sees her parents and Officer Mark standing on the ground. She tries to head back, but stops. She then paces around in a circular, then a series of zigzag motions. I want to know, what did you kill those people for? My uncle, my best friend, Mark's brother, his wife, my father's friend? What all those before, and the ones you want to kill after? Why? Please, don't be afraid, the voices whispered. Just go with God. Let him take you. She goes to the edge in a trance-like state. Officer Mark Brigade sees her. No, don't do it. Then she turns around. You know what? She takes a piece of clay as she cuts her finger. I'm a Satanist, bitch. The blood falls to the ashes as light consumes it into a pentagram. Then from the light comes a hand as it snatches away the lights. They are gone, and no more. Whoa, says Mark Clairvaux. I gotta join her. Oh, I pray to God that you don't, Francis Clairvaux scolds. Throughout the weeks and the months and the years, what a twist! Everyone was able to grieve. Officer Mark and Akiko had gotten married as they had 3 kids. 3 kids who had hair to match the color of the sprites. And there we go. That's the Spectrum themed story of But the previous story, of course, was missing. You know, a theme. I mean, was missing. Of don't be afraid. I hope you like that one. It's good. I was like, I don't want to do it like that because I think it's kind of fun, kind of cool, you know. But this next one, the main character do have. It's kind of difficult to switch it in like a first-person point of view, and I'm hoping, they got some like, let's get a lot of stuff right, you know. But here it is. The theme is winged, so it's the creatures that are winged, you know. And the title is called Terror in the Skies. And so, you know, this is the only story that's done in first person. All the others are in third person, but this one is first person as a letter. Just so you know. To those it may concern, my name is Kalis Asuman. As to me writing this, I am 16 years old. Now I want to talk about the incidents that happened 4 years and 6 weeks prior. If you're reading this, I must tell you that the events that I am about to tell you are true, to the best of my abilities. It was a cold February morning. Ice was still on the ground. Snow was falling from the sky. My big brother Malcolm was set to race in the Daytona 500. And we got to fly there to get front row seats to watch him in action. My mom and I hadn't seen him since he went to college for race car drivers. A NAS school, if you will. Sorry. My doctor said that humor could help ease the pain of the past. Well, anyway, we were getting ready. We live in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and we decided to take the trip to Daytona by plane. We had booked a hotel. It's nothing fancy, not like a Hilton or anything. We couldn't afford that. More like a Super 8, which is more affordable. We were going to spend 3 days there. We were running a little late. Come on, cried my mother. Let's go. I'm coming, Mom. Well, hurry up. I brought my hand out to some games along, but I couldn't decide what plushie to bring. I know, I'm a guy, it's weird, but I like them. Anyway, I decided to take my stuffed bunny with a spider head. There was a mix-up at the factory it was made. I also got some clothes along. Why can't I just wear this in a swimsuit? No, we're going to a hotel, you bring fresh clothes, yeah. Needless to say, I brought some clothes along. No room for games. Next, I took along my favorite backpack. My mom got things rather quickly. Then we had trouble with the car and were stopped at the airport. My mom has a metal hip. Then there was a delay. It was like the universe didn't want us to go. And now that I'm thinking back on it, I'm starting to think it was. But after all that, we got rushed to our seats. I got seat 13A. I remember that because 13 is an unlucky number, so they say, and A became my unlucky letter. But I'm getting ahead of myself. As we waited to go, after losing half an hour already, we waited another 15 minutes. When the captain said, "We're sorry. We're experiencing technical difficulties." My mom was upset. "I can't believe this. I have to get to the hotel or they'll give it away." I noticed a man across the way had also been visibly upset. He was wearing all black, along with a few others. I didn't know why, but at the time he gave me the creeps. Ugh. Everyone else there was upset, but not as much as Mom and that man. I wasn't too upset. I mean, I was, but not as much as they were. I just figured that we'd get there. Boy, was I naive. As we took off, it seemed like we were going to be smooth sailing. It was a little rocky, but other than that, it was nice and easy. Greetings, everyone. This is Captain speaking, and I hope you all like your trip to Daytona Beach. We're going to land on those beachy sands. Just kidding. So just sit back and enjoy your flight. As we got high up in the air, I decided to catch out the window. The clouds looked like I could just touch them. There were ducks or geese flying about. No, they weren't ducks nor geese. They were something else. The wings were, well, sharp, jagged, and they had 4 of them. It was like the legs had also been adapted into wings, and they had these long, narrow prehensile tails. Then they got up close. I saw one's eye. It was staring at me. I tried to say something to my mom, but I saw that it was gone. When I turned back again, that man I had an uneasiness about. When I turned back again, that man I had an uneasiness about stood up and took out a couple of AK-47s, which should be illegal, But that's another topic for another day. But then a group of men dressed up in his same clothes stood up as they each took out their own guns. AK-47s, AR-15s, shotguns. I got nothing against them. And one took out a David Bowie knife. Oh no. It was a knife in the shape of David Bowie for the handle. Which now has to be a thing. If someone can make a knife with David Bowie as the handle, I think I'd buy it. I think I would. Sorry. Oh, nobody moves. Spoke no one. Oh no, what's going on? Are you kidding me right now? Other people would say it was as if it was something out of an action movie. The man grabbed an old lady. Oh my! He pointed his gun at her. I said, nobody move! I was scared. I was terrified. Being 11 years old and watching action movies, I would think up how I would do those scenarios. Like, what if on a playground and an alien from a distant planet invades? I would imagine myself that the one lady, get away from her, you bitch! But then what if it sees through heat? So imagine yourself covered in mud and died from the alien. Or what if I'm at the community pool and ghosts invade? I like to imagine that I would be those one dudes and take out those backpacks. Or even, what if on the bus when some bad men take over? I can imagine myself being like Harrison Ford, get off my bus. When it's not really my bus. I think it belongs to the guy who rides it. I don't know. But the point is, no matter how long or how often I could think of really cool action scenarios to go through my head, as of that day, at the time, within that very moment, I couldn't think of anything. I just froze in fear. They're just all sitting on seats, with their heads looking at the floor. I could hear my mother's heavy breathing and started praying, "Oh Lord, please help us, deliver us from these men." "Hey," said one of the men, the one with the boy, "be quiet." "Now this is how it's gonna go down," spoke the leader man. "I really don't want to hurt your interview, and if we can play our cards right, we could all go home nicely. Now, my friends, will be coming around. I want you to give up your belongings to them." From the corner of my eye, I see the men collect phones, cards, cash, and other devices from the people in the seats. I then see a man who hasn't been gotten to yet reach out his phone and he starts dialing 911. Come on, I hear him yell, but the blue screen on the phone caught one of the guy's attention. As he walks up and shoots the man, then he stomps the phone to oblivion. "Now let me make this very clear," spoke the leader man. "Any call for help will result in the immediate termination of life services. But I don't like doing that, and my friends sure don't either. We can all get along, and nobody else has to get hurt. You don't want to get hurt, do you? Now this will all go over quickly." I glanced at my mom as she was stuttering, whispering, "Please, Lord. Please, Lord. Please help us. Please, Lord. Please help us, please." And the man took her from her seat and dragged her to the ground. I said to be quiet. "Mom," I yelled. "Shut up," I heard the man with the gun to my mom's head say to her. The leader man then yelled, "Hey, let her go back to seat. She's just praying. There's nothing wrong with praying." A man had started begging and pleading to let his wife go. She was sick. The leader man then reiterated, "I don't want to hurt you, okay? Just do as we say, okay?" "And what do you want from us?" asked the man with the sick wife. "You already got everything from us." I would assumed. You already got everything from us." What I assumed to be his wife said. "That's a good question. No, it is true that we all got a need for it." I then saw him take out the man with the sick wife's phone. He then gave it to the man. "Now we need to go to the bank account and take out." Oh, wait, hold on. I said this real quick. Boop. I don't finish up the Western Post, but I had to do that done. Now we need to go to the bank account and take out all your money and transfer it to. He took out a piece of paper and wrote something down. This address. "But sir, why? Sir, I need that money for my wife." He pointed his gun to the man's wife. "Either do it or say goodbye to your wife." We were all shocked. Mom said, "Hold on, I thought you said you didn't want to hurt us. So why is something to harm us?" Whoa, miss, Miriam Asuman. Miss Asuman? "I really don't want to, but what choice do I have here? After being in a little resistance here and there, all it else sent money to a secretive account." Then one woman, a flight attendant, had seemingly gotten sick. The leadman went up to her concerned. Whoa, are you okay?" And she got the jump on him. She managed to get his gun from him and used him to keep the others at bay. Drop your weapons now. The weapons are put in water. So sorry. Sorry. I saw them dropping their weapons. Then I heard a tap at the window. I looked, and it was one of those things again. It looked at me with those sad, scared sclera. Sorry, saying that 6 times fast. Sound whatever. Yeah. I then looked at the light attendant and the lead man, who was disarmed by her. She looked at my mom and the man with the sick wife. Now, quick, tie them up. When they did as they were told, everyone cheered. Woohoo! Yeah. It wasn't until she had the lead man return all our money and things to us to usher in a sigh of relief. Oh man, so that's over. It was finally over, and to celebrate, and to celebrate what we thought was the reason get us, and to what that was going to get us to come back. She got lots of us drinks. It was honey and warm milk. Everyone drank it. While I looked at mine, contemplating the bits that occurred. Would Malcolm be surprised at what happened to us? Would Malcolm be able to top that with racing? What was the end goal? Why did they need all those things? I was glad the flight attendant was there. Hey, have you drink, Mom ordered, seeing they was rude to decline a drink. But as I brought the drink to her lips, I heard the tap again. I looked out the window again to see the creature look at me with fear and concern in his eyes. Mom said to her before realizing that she had finished the drink. Actually, they all did. Save for me. The guys who were all tied up in the flight attendant. I saw them all black out. Then I saw untie the man, and then he untied the others. Then I took each group of people. Then each took a group of people. That's whatever. As they brought them down to the cargo bay, I tried waking my mom up, but it tapped the window again. When I looked at the thing, I saw it looking its head down. I didn't know what it meant until I turned my head back and saw the flight attendant looking at me, so I quickly went limp. Hey, make sure you have enough for everybody, she yelled out. Probably to the lead man. This one almost fell out of it. When I was sure it was safe, I grabbed my Spider-Man bunny and I snuck into the restroom. From there, I climbed in through the vent. While I made it through the vent, I found my way through the cabin on the plane. Then I saw the lead man and that lady as they were kissing. What? If she was with them the whole time, why would she do this elaborate thing? Was it some kind of sick throw or something? Then I saw them. Piles of dead bodies. Oh no. Including the man and his sick wife. I then heard the lady go, I love making people scared and feel hopelessness. As all the money gets taken away. While we then give them a little bit of hope and give them money back. Yeah, continued the lead man. Until you can take it away from them again. Then we kill them. They both laughed maniacally. Okay. Then one of the men came rushing in. He was carrying a clipboard. We got a problem. What? Asked the flight attendant. She looked at the board, then at the man. What is it? I counted 348 people upstairs. So looked at the bodies. And there's 343 here, plus us 8. That means... I felt her eyes as she looked right at me. He's in the vents. They pointed their guns. So I hightailed out of there, but I wasn't fast enough. They pierced my foot and grazed my shoulder. Ah! I managed to get to the cockpit. I'm about to call them for help when I saw one pick up his walkie-talkie and I heard the flight attendant say, keep a lookout for an escapee. Aye, Captain. So, I booked it out of there, but where else they go? He's leaving a blood trail. These words still haunt me to this day. I tried to get away, but I fell in the cargo bay. I saw 2 circles near me. Look, it's nothing personal, kid. We're just having fun. Well, I had come behind while I shackled one of them to the ground. Ah! She knocked him out, but then the other guy pointed his gun at her. Mom, no, I yelled as he pushed the boxes as hard as I could onto him. She came right to my side. Are you okay? She asked. I told her what was going on, save for the things outside my window, of course. But as we started to walk back, the alarm was going off. As we felt ourselves being pulled backwards, someone was opening the cargo bay door. My mom threw me up to some secure boxes as she slid down to a pole. Mama, I yelled. You stay right there, sweetie, she ordered. I watched as the two unconscious individuals were thrown out the window. More men came rushing with their guns blazing. Yeah. I had been protected by boxes. My mother, not so much. She had her bones and her fingers shattered, and she was forced to let go. I watched in horror as she slid out the cargo bay doors. Mama! Just then, I looked at the flight attendant and lead man hugging and kissing each other. They were standing on my box I was using to keep myself safe. Why are you doing this? I asked. For fun, was the flight attendant's reply. Yeah, you see, my girlfriend and I will have our men. Hold the gun, boy. He stops at this sentence. The flight attendant pulls her gun out. You don't need to worry about this, she points the gun at me. For soon you'll be joining your mother. And we don't have time for mono. She takes a step back. Whoa, what is that thing? I could feel that it was that thing as I saw from earlier. I saw her as she pulled her gun to aim it at the thing. Now, I don't know why, but it kicked the box as hard as it could, and it shook loose so much that they toppled over. I quickly grabbed into the rope holding the boxes as the wicked couple slid towards the cargo bay doors, but then the doors started closing. I looked up and saw the man with the Bowie knife. He had closed the doors. I thought I was done for. Then I saw the thing as it rushed in and grabbed my arm. I was pulled into the seat area. There the creature grabbed my head with its tail and pulled me to a window. From there I saw it, a storm of ice and thunder, but there was something inside that storm. But I had no time to react. I don't need that part, actually, because I don't know, man. You know, I'm gonna just get rid of that part. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna deal with that. No, I think it was kind of. Then it happened. I was watching this thing fly in the air. As the flight attendant shot it, it went down. Okay, you. She said, pointing her gun at me. It's time for you to die. The sounds of the monitor system goes off. Hey, hello, fuck faces. It was my mother. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but God has sent his angels to catch me. And don't worry. Your captain see me peacefully. Let's co-pilot. Let's be a good little boy. Someone told me that the angel was that thing that I had saw. That I had seen, maybe. That saved my life. There were others. One could have helped her as well. To this day, I don't believe in angels, but if there was one, that thing would be it. When my victory was self-lived, the woman grabbed me and held me at gunpoint. Alright, bitch. Say goodbye to your son, she said. Noticing I still had my plushie in my hand, I swung it at her, throwing her off balance. I should probably. I'll do the spell checks later, you know. I ran for the pilot door, yelling, "Mom, Mom!" She came out holding a gun and fired. It hit her right in the head. I ran towards her and hugged her. Actually, that needs to be there because it's kind of important. So, yeah. There's a storm of ice and thunder, but there was something inside that storm. But I had no time to react. Two more goons with guns had fired us. Then watched this thing flew up and with his tail tore them to shreds. I saw arms and legs flying about. I was too scared to even move. Then blah blah yada yada. Sorry, I forgot that there's a because I think like it's not the creature's not warning of. Maybe it should be. I don't know. Just tell me what you think, guys. Should we be warning of something else, or should it be warning of the guys? You know, the evil people on the plane. I don't know. I'll let you decide. Actually, that sounds better. Yeah. Notice it. I ran for the pilot door, yelling, "Mom, Mom!" She came out holding a gun and fired. Hit her right in the head. I ran towards her and hugged her, but then I saw him. The man with the Bowie knife. Mom! I pushed her out of the way as the knife pierced my abdomen. I heard, "Good afternoon, everyone. We're flying at 26,000 feet, moving up to 30,000 feet, and we got clear skies all the way to Vegas." Coming from the knife. The Bowie knife. It originally got blurry when I saw my mom thrashing that David Bowie guy. The guy with the David Bowie knife. Just, I don't know. She then ran to me. "Oh, honey, are you alright?" I managed to get to my feet. "Yeah, I'm fine." To be honest, I wasn't. I didn't want to worry her. Then we heard the cargo base open. Then we saw the lead man standing there, and he said, pointing his gun to us, "Now you die." Then I heard the creature shriek. I don't know. We watched, although it was blurry to me, as the man was eaten and torn to shreds. "Oh, thank God. It's finally over," my mom said as she felt a sigh of relief. "No, Mom," I said. "We're into a storm." She looked at the window. "What do you mean?" There she saw it. "Is that an eye?" "What do we do?" "I don't know, baby." Then I heard the shriek come from the creature as we felt the plane avoiding the thing altogether. Looking down as the vision slowly got back, I saw thousands of those things flying in the plane. We landed on the sea near Florida. From there, we called for services, and thankfully, the co-pilot, who had simply walked into this thing, told us all what had happened. We then went to the hotel. We had to go to the hospital for the week. Malcolm gave up racing just to be with us. My mom got prosthetic fingers, I got a cast in a sling, and we each got counseling. Now I'm also writing to you that I had taken in one of these creatures, the thing that saved my life, and all the others were given hero status and are now working with the military at the US's secret weapons base. This one, my little Karina, had stayed with me. He's alive and well. With a little help, we remain ever vigilant about that storm that's fast approaching. I couldn't, like, the reason why I did that thing, okay, just, each one has a different theme. I'm gonna tell you, like, what's the main theme, like, the main reason why that this is, happening for, I'll give you the hint on it, and you'll be like, oh, okay, that's kind of neat, But here's the next part of the story. I have to do it just for a little bit. Then I might not be able to do all of it, but whatever, This one, the theme is hunting, and the title is The Man in the Magenta Dress. Which is not like a dress. It's more like a suit or uniform. It's called a dress, Gunda Finlay, just look at the mural. The picture of the soldier in a magenta uniform. He's holding a rifle in his left hand. The English it says Soldato Maledetta. The 86-year-old woman walks away from it. As the little boy is looking at an ancient musket locked in a case, she walks up to him. Do you know the secret of this here rifle? No, the boy says, shaking his head. Well, you see, legend has it that in the Battle of Magenta in 1859... Whoa, that's a long time ago. Yes, that is true. But the story goes that a man in the Battle of Magenta has managed to kill an angel, and through its blood was given the power to kill his enemies with a single shot of his gun, a Lawrence rifle musket which could instantly kill its targets. But a group of warriors made a mystic seal to trap him. She points to the painting. In that painting. The boy looks at the painting. Whoa! Then looks at the lady. I like your necklace. She takes on of her shirt a blue necklace connected to a red chain. On it there was a series of symbols. She put it back in her shirt. Thank you. As she waves goodbye to the boy, she goes to a room that says director's office. As she goes into the office, she sees that a computer screen has a message symbol on it. She clicks on it and sees, Dear Miss Finlay, we are pleased to inform you that we managed to procure the following items. A vintage 1967 fencing mask, a traditional kendo sword, 3 amulets from the Slavic god Perun, 2 Japanese-style swords, not katanas, and a vintage uniform from the Battle of Magenta. We will have them available for you by tonight. Yours truly, the Museum Association. She does a slight smirk as she does an inventory. A young worker who we'll call Franklin is looking at the box containing the uniform. He looks at it with intenseness. His best friend and senior co-worker, who we'll call Marco, says to him, Hey Mac, you gonna look at that all day? Look at that all day, yeah. Sorry, sir. He puts the box away and sits up next to his friend, putting a tiny sword keychain on the dash of the company truck. So what do you say that we get a couple beers after this? Man, that would sound nice. He likes to say go ahead and he puts his lighter on the dash. When they get there, Franklin drops the box containing the fabric as he touches it while putting it back in. Alright, I'm going to have to be done now. Yeah, I thought this would happen, but that's okay. This is at the end. I'm going to finish this up. I hope you like it as much as I like writing this, and even reading this too, The last 2 stories were kind of like, really hard for me to kind of come up with, like, with certain things. I knew what I wanted to do, but how I would do it, but, like, exactly how, something that was one of the fun part, But, yeah, we'll see you in the very last one. Trust me, the last one will be the last one. And then I'm going to tell you about, like why the themes, like how they get defeated if they get defeated, and that kind of stuff, like what's going on with that. And remember to like, comment,